The book of Daniel is a coded book, a sealed book. Though both the angel and Daniel are sealed and 100% allegorical, Daniel is built on subtleties more than geometrical mathematics as the angel is. The angel depends on subtleties also, but nowhere near the extent that you find in Daniel. The two books complement each other. In chapter 13, the bridge between the two books is established. Here I explain the connection. There is a statue of gold, silver, brass, iron, and then iron and clay. The statue is anatomically correct except that it has no hands. The statue is in fact the mountain that the stone was cut out of without hands. The mountain/statue without hands. It is significant that the metals, gold, silver, brass, and iron are chosen and stated in that particular order. The gold represents the original nation. That is clear when you compare the gold to the tree that both it and the gold represents. Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom, a kingdom that covered the entire earth. Do you know of any nation that ever covered/ruled the entire earth? The gold represents the original nation. The silver represents the African nation. The brass, which is fool's gold, is the Jews who are masquerading as the gold, fooling, deceiving the ignorant. The iron is a fool's silver. The Caucasians who are claiming the great African empires such as Carthage, Egypt, Ethiopia, and even Persia. The statue establishes the symbolic significance of gold, silver, brass/bronze, and iron for the so-called Old as well as the New Testaments. The toes are made up of iron and clay. 2 large toes of iron, 8 small toes of clay, which represents the last kingdom on earth, which is ground to dust by a stone of gold from the head of the statue/mountain without hands. Here comes a major subtlety. There was another creature that differed from the other beast. That beast is the bear. It is different from the leopard and lion, both feline while the bear is not. The fourth beast is a composite beast of all the previous beasts, with the bear as its head. More subtleties. Among the 10 horns of the composite beast, which are the 8 plus 2 toes of the statue and the 4 wings and 4 heads of the leopard plus 2 wings of the eagle, came up a little horn, different from the other 10. This horn is the bear, who has 3 ribs, which are the 3 horns that the little horn plucks up by the roots. What are the 3 horns? We move further into the story and find a ram with 2 horns about to be attacked by a goat with 1 horn. Who is the ram? Who is the goat? The ram's 2 horns are America and Britain. The ram itself is false Israel. The leopard is the goat, whose horn later breaks up into 8 parts. The horn breaks into 4 horns towards the 4 winds or wings for a total of 8. I warned you that Daniel is very subtle. So the goat is the leopard, which is yellow with brown spots. China and India, who is furious with the ram and charges the ram, traveling at tremendous speed with his feet not touching the ground, meaning it travels over the Pacific Ocean. It slams into the ram with such kinetic force that it knocks the ram down, breaks, and stumps its two horns, America/Britain, into the ground. The two horns of the ram and the one horn of the goat are the three horns that the little horn, the bear, plucks up by the roots. They are also the ribs in the mouth of the bear. Who is the bear? We must go back to the statue. The lion is the original people, the gold, who lost kingdom, but would have the kingdom restored to them. The brass is false Israel, the ram that had two horns. The two iron legs are Russia and Europe, the remnant of the now defunct Roman Empire. The 8 toes are the leopard with 4 wings, democratic India, and 4 heads, authoritarian China, yellow with brown spots. The 2 iron toes are America and Britain, the 2 horns on the ram. So what is left? Africa. The bear is Africa. I've never pushed very hard about the bear, as it is yet future, and after the war with Gog and Magog. But both Daniel and the angel addresses the bear in great detail. He is all over the angel, yet unrecognized. He is the character in chapter 1, the, quote, one like the Son of Man, end quote, who everyone keeps miscalling Jesus. He is the rider on the white horse in the first seal, the one who goes forth conquering and to conquer. It is Obama, an African, as the bear is an African. He would make 2 major conquests. The first as President of America, the second will be King/Emperor, whatever, of an African confederation, which is about to be made manifest. Obama will be the head of this federation, who will at first ally with the goat, China/India, in breaking and destroying the ram's horns, America and Britain. Then Obama, with a united non-Islamic black Africa at his back, will turn on China and India and defeat them. Obama is the mystery character in chapter 17 of the angel, the, quote, he who was, but is not, the 8th, but of the 7th, end quote, which I will discuss in detail when I address chapter 17. Elijah Muhammad, the messenger, shortly before his departure in 1975, stated that the last president of America would be a black man. I, who was very young at the time and had very limited knowledge of scripture, went with that. Over the years since his departure, I told everyone, including my family, what the messenger had said. When Obama came on the scene, it was dramatic to those who I had passed the messenger's prophecy to. At that time, I was fully versed on the angel, had broken his seals, but I found nothing in the angel that supported what the messenger had said. The angel does predict a black, quote, African, end quote, becoming president, but nothing that I could see as being the last. Now, Daniel does imply that the last president would be a black African, as Belshazzar is a black African, the last ruler of Babylon before it is overthrown by Darius/Farad. The weight of the messenger's statement was enough to convince me to go with my understanding of the Belshazzar story. The messenger never broke the seals of the angel, nor Daniel, as Rod didn't either. If either did, present the proof. Present one deciphered chapter. Anyway, the bear/scarlet beast in both books have it joined with China and India when they invade and conquer America. Now the bear not only destroys America, but later China and India. So when it is joined with China and India, when they conquer America, would that make Obama the last ruler of America? He would definitely be one of the conquerors. Perhaps that's what the messenger meant. And I jumped the gun a bit. A tree was cut down that had covered the entire earth. Is there any nation that they have taught us about that actually ruled the entire earth? Of course not. But there it is, revealed in the book of Daniel. So what to make of it? If you understand, then you know that the tree represents the goal, the original nation, who has been cut down to a stump and imprisoned in America. Notice that the tree stump is banded by a band of brass and iron. For all you Jew lovers and confused about who the Jews are, trying to distinguish between the good Jews and the satanic Jews, review that story very carefully. Remember, the brass represents the Jews, pretending to be the gold, and the iron represents the Caucasians. So the tree is imprisoned and bound by the Caucasians and the Jews. The tree banded by a band of iron and brass. Both are oppressing the original people. Both were involved and guilty of the so-called slave trade. Perhaps the Jews more so, as they were, among other things, the money men. The lion, the original nation, is the gold. The original nation is cast as gold/lion/tree. As gold, the gold stone that is cut out of the mountain/statue without hands, that crushes all the nations. In addition, the original people had its identity stolen by the brass, Jews. As a tree, the original nation is bound or imprisoned by the brass and iron, the Jews and Caucasians. As a lion, the original nation is oppressed and exploited by America and Britain, who are the two wings on the lion's back and made to live like and treated like a beast. As beast, the Son of Man is made to live among them in the hopes he would be devoured by them, but they just sit dumbfounded by the Son of Man and did him no physical harm. The Son of Man/Daniel lifts them up, snatches off from them their oppressors, and restores their humanity/Islam, their original nature, to them. That's why he's called the Ancient of Days, because he is old school, Old Testament, a restorer of the old, ancient/original ways. The mouth, the little horn. The bear had a, quote, mouth, end quote, that made war with the NOI/saints and beat/overcame them. Now we see why the connection between Daniel and the angel is made in chapter 18. You can identify the mouth in Daniel, but it is subtle, not easy. But in the angel, that is, if the truth is of interest to you, the, quote, mouth, end quote, is easily identified. In the angel, the position under a Lord, which is the center or seventh of each of the creatures, can be a horse on which the Lord rides, or a mouth for his voice. So we see that Farrakhan is the mouth of the little horn of Obama, who is above the seed of the women, who lifts himself up as a god, speaking strange things against the Most High, the Lamb, the Son of Man, the Son. You must understand the angel key to understand the angel language, to understand the angel.
I'm a young God.
In the angel, the position under a Lord, which is the center or seventh of each of the creatures, can be a horse on which the Lord rides, or a mouth for its voice. So we see that Farrakhan is the mouth of the little horn of Obama, who is above all the sea of the women, who lifts himself up as a God speaking strange things against the Most High, the Lamb, the Son of Man, the Son.
Going to use to bring about universal change. And that is why Barack has captured the youth. And he has involved young people in a political process that they didn't care anything about. That's a sign. When the Messiah speaks, the youth will hear.
All those dwelling in the earth, meaning the blacks who live in America, who are demons, their names are not in the Lamb's Book of Life, will be mesmerized, seduced by Obama, the beast. Seems like Mr. Farrakhan is one of them.